love with him, my insides go. Woo, 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 woo. My God is my King. Yes, he is the source of my strength, my everything. Blessed is the King of Israel that cometh in the name of the Lord. My God is my King. Yes, he is the source of my strength, my everything. Ooh, yeah. There's no problem that my Jesus can't handle. He's wise. He can handle it. Yeah. The glory of the one who came from the Father took the only Son. Conquered hell and the grave. Yes, Jesus, you are. You are. Thanks to you, I can be delivered. I can be set free. There's no more chains holding me. Without you, my world will stop. Jesus, you'll forever have my heart. Lift up your head, oh ye gates, and the King of glory shall come in. On the throne, I can't go on. My God is my King. He is the source of my strength, my everything. There's no problem that my Jesus can't handle. He's wise. Because you reign, I'm not worried about my problems. 'Cause I know you're gonna solve them. You're my source. You're my strength. You're my everything. You're my everything. Yes. You're my Jehovah Rapha, my healer and my deliverer. Yeah, yeah. You're my refuge. In the time of trouble, you shall hide me.
And now we take you live to New York City.
Hey, live in New York City with Demone, Seraphin. Welcome, friends, to Broadway Off Stage Right, where we take you up close and personal with some of your favorite Broadway artists. I am so excited about today's show. For our fourth installment of Broadway Off Stage Right, we have with us the ever-talented, ever-beautiful actor from shows like Transcripts, the revival of Runaways at City Center, and currently our guest is starring in Burn All Night at the American Repertory Theater in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where my girl Diane Pollock is the artistic director. We are pleased to welcome M.J.Rodriguez. Say what's up, MJ.
What's up, y'all? How are y'all doing today?
Hey, so listen, we're so excited to have you, but we also know that in less than 30 minutes, you have a show tonight, and so we want to jump right into our conversation. So tell us, MJ, who are you? Who are you, and how did all of this happen?
Oh my God. Okay. I'm rambunctious and crazy. No. How did it all start, and who am I? Okay, so MJ started at a it wasn't small, but it was a very, very close-knit place called NJPAC, New Jersey Performing Arts Center, and I would go to these programs. One of the main programs was SYPW. It was a summer performing arts program, and I learned everything from my godfather, who at that time was my vocal teacher, and I carried it through me until I was 18. I stayed in NJPAC for about 8 years. I became a veteran, and then I just took all that stuff with me, and I carried it through my college, my one college year, and then I went off and took into the realm of Broadway.
Wow. And so, tell me, where did you go to school?
I went to school at Berklee College of Music,
Okay.
It's an independent school.
And you did that for 1 year?
I did it for 1 year. I went to a 5-week program, and then I stayed there for a year. I had plans on staying for until I graduated, but my life took a wonderful turn, and I got the opportunity to play a character off Broadway in Rent, which was my dream role, Angel. And
so tell us about that. Tell us about that, because I think you did that with a friend of mine who played Mimi.
Yes, Ariana Fernandez.
Yeah, and then who took over for her?
Natalie Watchen.
That's it. Natalie's my girl in LA now.
Yes.
So tell us about stepping into Rent. I did that on Broadway.
Live. So.
Yeah, I was a Collins on Broadway. But you, tell us about your Rent experience. Welcome to the family.
Thank you. So it was totally unexpected. I was in Berkeley at the time, and I was nearing finals for my freshman year. And in the midst of that, before I had gotten into my finals, when I was on break, I did a production at NJ Pat, which was like my second home. I did that there, and Freddie Walker Brown, the original Joanne, she came and saw the production when I was like 18. And she told me that there were going to be auditions for Rent off Broadway, but I was like, okay, I'll definitely go, but I'm just going to try my best to stay in school. So she kept on my butt. I did like a reading for her that she had written along with one of her colleagues. And then I came back up to school to try to finish my semester. Literally while my semester was ending and while I was in finals, I was back and forth in auditions for Rent because Freddie had set up an appointment for me. And I just want to thank her for that because she's one of the people who got my career started. Honestly, I can't even thank her enough. But yeah, while I was in finals, I was going back and forth from Boston to New York for auditioning. And after my 5th audition, they called me and they were like, hey, we would like to select you for this character. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is insane. And I was like sick. I had a sinus infection. It was hilarious because I thought I was not going to get it at all. And by the grace of God,
tell us what role that was. Tell us what role it was.
I played Angel Demone.
Wow. And what was that experience like, bringing that character in life?
It was beautiful. I would honestly say, and I always tell this to a lot of my friends, it was the precipice to who I have become and who I have always wanted to be today. Being Angel was one of the most amazing things ever. It was not only was it my dream role, but it was the person, that character was who I was, and I got to be who I wanted to be on stage. Can you tell us more about that? As far as my transition?
Yeah, like what you got to play this part, and I'm really interested in how that liberated you to live it in the world and then live it on stage.
Yeah, okay, so it was hard because, I mean, my mindset had always been female, and ever since the age of 7. But I felt that I had to play this part in order to be safe and protected because at those times, a lot of people didn't know what that was. And I was like, I need to be a tomboy for a while for me to get by, and then this girl's going to grow up and she's going to put on her lipstick. So when I got into Rent, for that moment, I was like, this is finally the moment where people can see me for at least 2 hours. And then once I get out, I can, I had to, put back on this facade, but I was like, this is the moment where people can actually finally see me, and I can just lay my soul out on the stage.
MJ.
What were you going to say?
MJ, that's powerful.
Yeah.
So for 2 hours, you got to be liberated, but then you had to kind of jump back into this shell. What was that? How did you do that?
to be quite honest, I feel like I had already had it instilled in me. I felt like it was just an automatic thing to just snap back into this person I had to quote-unquote be outside of who I truly wanted to be on stage.
Mm-hmm.
But I just did it. It was like an automatic thing.
Wow. So now you are living in your truth.
Yes, I am.
And you are also living in your truth at a time where the conversation, certainly on Broadway and in the arts community, is how do we embrace the voices and the bodies and the realities of those who have been forced to kind of live on the outskirts or in the shadows. So what do you see now in the culture now? How do you see this playing out?
I see it playing out beautifully. I see a lot more individuals who are stepping into themselves, having more of a mind for themselves and doing what they truly feel and not feeling like they have to be in the shadows. And that's because of the idols, the inspirational people that are doing it already and who have made stepping stones for these people to just like walk upon and be themselves. So the future looks bright, and as far as me, I hope that I can be somebody, hopefully one day, to be inspirational and keep encouraging others. It doesn't matter if they're trans, whether they be straight allies, or it doesn't matter of any gender label. As long as you just step into who you are and just show up for the work, then that's all that matters. And I'm sure that's all casting and anyone else wants to see, is that you can show up for the work. It does not matter what your sexual orientation is, how you identify, or anything. Just show up,
Wow. Who were some of those shoulders, and who are some of those who make the journey easier? I don't say easy, because I can imagine that it's easy, especially with the vitriol and hatred and ignorance of so many people. Mm-hmm. Who were those who said, or who made this thing possible for you?
Well, I would have to say number one would be my mother. My mother was my biggest ally. My mother was my best friend. She still is. My mother was just the person that was there for me no matter what, and my father as well. Both of them have been nothing but rock, stern and sturdy rocks in my life, and they helped me become who I am today. But also the people alongside that have been Michael Greif. I got to talk to him and express to him while I was in Grant. I remember sitting down with him at lunch and just saying, "Hey, this is who I am, and I feel like I need to do this." And he was there for me. And Freddie Walker Brown, and there are many others out there who have made it possible. But those people were the pinnacle people who just made it and made me feel okay.
Yeah. Well, you are indeed one of the faces that people look to, the likes of you, Shakina, in this community.
Yes, my girl.
Yeah, that people look to you guys as you ladies, pardon me, as a source of inspiration, MJ. Beautiful, beautiful beings of truth and fire, because you are fire, MJ. You are fire. And I have, from the first time I saw you in Rent, by the way, I have had a strong affinity for you and have been, a distant supporter. And in my fight for understanding and in my fight to create space for people, it is your face and the face of Shakina and others who make me get up every day and be like, yeah, this is, everyone deserves a place at the table.
Exactly.
Yeah. So tell me.
Okay,
go ahead.
I always think of it I've also always been taught that what I have been given is a gift. It's not mine. So in order for me to actually enjoy what I'm doing, I have to be willing to give and let other people receive and change hearts.
Wow.
So, like, it does not matter who I am. If people can look past that, then they'll receive the gift. You know what I mean? They'll receive an understanding, and they'll be able to walk through the world and actually do what they need to do. I just feel like that's what God has sent me here to do. It does have nothing to do with anything else. It just, honestly, it has to do what I feel, what my Creator has given to me, and what I need to do as a mission to change hearts and make people, you know, open their hearts a little bit more and be more accepting and loving, and
Wow. That's amazing. So, my love, tell me, what are you passionate about right now?
Well, you know, there has been so many crazy things that have been happening in the world, and some people may not consider them crazy, but I consider them pretty crazy and a little scary. I don't fear, but I'm scared, but that only just lights a fire under me to be even more powerful and be a stronger light. And what's most important to me now is changing the world with what I have. If I can, I always say this to like a lot of my friends, I'm like, if I am playing a person who is a drug addict, I want to play that part so well that I can influence others not to want to do that because they know what they will have to deal with. And vice versa. If I play a person that is a superstar, I want to play it so well that people can actually be like, oh my God, I can do that as well. So, like, I feel like my gift is what is going to make people make decisions based on how they see it, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. So right now, man, I'm so, this conversation is really, I've been looking forward to this one, so if I seem a little dumbstruck right now, it's because I am. I admire you so much, and the love for you is so real, so I'm so grateful
Thank you.
for this time. You are working on an incredible show right now. Talk to us about that.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so I can't give everything away, but I will say the show is based off of, well, it's not based off of, it's based around 3 characters, and my interpretation of it, which is they find each other, while the world is ending, because it's literally about an apocalyptic time, while the world is ending, these 4 characters find a place within themselves to find reconciliation with each other, just so that they can be okay when the world is, well, obviously when the world ends the next day. And so they find specific places to look for each other and see if they can connect and have some type of closure. And at the end of the show, they find that closure when they come together.
Wow. And that show, which is called Burn All Night.
Yes, Burn All Night.
Yeah, one of the writers of that show, very good friend of mine, Mr. Andy Muentes. So I'm so excited because he's taken to this writing thing, and from what I hear, it is absolutely incredible.
It is bomb. It is bomb.
Yeah. So tell us how long you guys are running.
So we started previews on the 18th, and we've been running since then, and we run until the 8th of September. So if there's anyone out there that's listening, if you guys want to catch a ticket and grab a ticket in Cambridge, Massachusetts for the Oberon showing of the show, come as soon as possible because they are selling out very quickly.
Yeah, that's Burn All Night playing in Cambridge, Massachusetts at Club Oberon, which is the second space for the American Repertory Theater, where Diane Paulus is the artistic director. So listen, I know you have another show today, so I want to ask you one more question. It's a question that I like to kind of end our interviews with. If there was one thing that you could leave that would make a difference in this world as an artist, what would it be?
Oh, my God. Oh. I want to say the most cheesiest thing ever, which is to have peace on earth and hopefully, like, just to be done through what we love to do. I feel like when someone does something to change the world because they love it versus because it's something to do, it makes a big difference. So if you feel like you can change the world in something that you love, then do it, because it will make a big difference.
Yeah. I think that is the most amazing way to end our show today. MJ, thank you so much for sharing your heart, for sharing your talent, for sharing your insight and your voice with us today. We are so excited and grateful beyond words, especially because I know you have a show tonight. And I want you to know that you always have a place here. So anytime you want to come on, you got something you want to share, or just to kind of get out to our audience, then you are always welcome to Broadway Offstage Right.
Thank you, Dee.
Hey, you are most welcome. And to you, our audiences, listen, if you really enjoyed this interview and our other interviews, you can follow us on YouTube under Broadway Offstage Right. We're certainly here on demand. You can download this show by clicking that little link that you've been given, and you can share this show with your friends who weren't able to see us or hear us live. Stay tuned next week, next Tuesday at this same time. We have another exciting guest who will come to share their heart and their passions with you so that you can get an up-close and personal view of your favorite artist. Until then, be blessed and be a blessing. Thank you so much. Peace.
It's gonna be a great day.
Some people may not understand why I lift my hands and why I say amen and why I do my dance. I may not be driving fancy cars or hanging with the stars. Ain't got that house in the hills, see, that may be a thrill, but I know the man upstairs, and I know he cares. I know he's there, he's everywhere. I can feel him in my hands, I feel him in my feet, so excuse me, move on out of my way. Gotta get on my feet, I just can't sit still. What I feel so real, it's the spirit of the Lord, so let's get on one to go. Great day, yeah. I'm happy to say it's a great day. I'm so happy, yeah. Great day, it's a great day. I'm happy to say it's a great day, yeah. Some people may not understand why I sing for you, why I live for you, and why I long for you, just like the deer that panted after the water. My soul longs for you, Lord. My soul needs you. They don't even know my story, and if they knew, they'd be happy for me. See, your blessing is coming.